Hey everyone, welcome back to Shock and Schlock, where I, your host, Herschel Gillis, take a look at some of the most controversial, extreme, and underground cinema that there is in the world today, as well as B movies and trash films. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the 2014 film Snuffet. Snuffet is a horror comedy film by director Dustin Mills and follows sort of a it's very hard to describe the story here. A world where puppets and people coexist, and puppets are like a new race of people, sort of. It's very weird. Think the Muppets in real life, but serious, and you got a good idea there. Anyway, the film follows somebody that absolutely hates puppets, thinks they should be exterminated, and goes about killing them, dismembering them, a la something like August Underground or pseudo snuff movies. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first puppet snuff movie, and I have thoughts. So, for the first time as well, let me introduce my special guest here, Stinky. We're going there, people. I hope you enjoy this because we got nowhere to go here. So, Stinky is going to give us a breakdown. We watched this movie together. He's going to give us a solid breakdown of what he thought here. He's going to give us a solid breakdown of what he liked, what he disliked, what he found scary. Because, I mean, who better to make a review about a puppet snuff movie than a puppet himself? So I'm going to hand it over to him, and, let's see how this goes. Okay. Yes, that was my voice. Here we go. I'll let Stinky talk for himself. I'm sorry, guys. This is very unprofessional, very stupid. 0 brain cells. 0 viewers. 0 thoughts. The Shock and Schlock way. I hope you are all here for this. And my terrible rambling, and yeah, still no editing. So anyway.
Anyway, Snuffet is horrible. I hated it.
I hated it as well. Whew, boy. Okay, this is the longest list of dislikes that I've ever had. I literally have no likes for this movie. Okay, so here we go. Stinky's going to give his final thoughts and review at the end here as well. But first, Herschel Gillis. I am a professional. I'm going to try and be professional. I'm going to talk about this objectively. Even though it depicts hate crimes against puppets and Stinky is my friend, so I do have a personal connection here. I find it very offensive, but I'm going to try to do my best as a professional reviewer here to talk about this film, okay? Anyway, I said I had no likes, but let's discuss that a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to try to think about things that I like. I like the tagline. His judgment will be felt. You get it. Felt like the puppet. That's it. That's all I like. Okay. So, let's just start out first on the list. This is a review that shouldn't be this long already, because this film doesn't even deserve to be talked about, because this is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible cinema. Anyway. Okay, so the film is set up just like August Underground with I refer to him in my notes and to myself as the puppet Nazi, because that's what he is. He literally wears Nazi regalia, weird stuff. And he goes about kidnapping puppets who in this movie are like people. They don't have puppet voices, they have people voices, and they scream and cry like people. And the plot is set up in the way of something like August Underground, like I mentioned before, where there is really no plot. It's a sort of a loosely connected series of puppet murder and dismemberment and abuse. And it's all very bad. So let's talk about that a little bit more. So the film is found footage. Let's start out with that. That's my major dislike. The film can't follow its own rules, okay? In a found footage movie, you want everything to be. He's falling asleep.
Okay, I'm up.
Okay, he's up. We're professionals here. Um, you want a found footage movie to be like something that's found by police. People that came by, they find them on VHS tapes. We all know the story of found footage. Take the Blair Witch Project, anything like that. Even August Underground is the shot on video camera footage of the killer, which is sort of what this is. But when you do that, you have to make the movie look realistic. If you're doing something that's found footage, you have to make it realistic. This movie has music. Where is the music coming from? Did the people filming the movie add that in post? This is supposed to be a found footage movie. Why would the killer go through the trouble of filming murders, presumably for himself and the small group of online people that he's giving this to? That's part of the main story. He's posting these videos on some puppet snuff hate website like the Barnstormer for puppets. Not a big fan. And he meets a woman at some point. They join together to do this. That's it. But did the killer add music in post when he's showing this movie to himself and a small group of people? Also, some shots are in black and white. Why? Why are some shots in black and white? If this is a found footage movie, why is there a change in camera style? Also, there are parts in the film where the killer is filming himself, does not put down the camera, yet walks into the shot and is followed by the camera when there's nobody else there. Who's the other person? Is it a ghost? Is it the ghost of Kermit the Frog? I'm sorry. We speak telepathically to each other. Stinky didn't like this movie. It bothered him a lot, but we're going to let him give his thoughts at the end here. So, yeah, those are complaints just about the editing style of this. The acting, horrible. When you're making a movie like this, all jokes aside, you want it to be like August Underground, where you want something that is believable, or at least a good actor. I mean, you're not gonna want believability in a movie about puppet snuff and murder. But anyway, he was just very boring, very flat. He underacts some places, he overacts others. It's never entertaining. He's just terrible. I don't know if the director was the person in the suit. It doesn't look like it. But yeah. At the later point in the film, where a additional character gets introduced, she's also a bad actor. Literally did not care about either of them, their motivations, any of it. It's just all very stupid and boring. The film also can't decide whether it's a horror movie or a comedy, and this jumps between them because on paper, a movie like this is going to be a comedy. You can't take a movie about puppets getting killed seriously. Think it's like you go into this thinking it's a dark comedy about like people just taking the Muppets and just abusing them, like something like Wiener Dog by Todd Solondz, where he kind of flips the trope of the dog movie on its head by making it just brutal, dark comedy. But the difference between that film and this is that film is good, and Todd Solondz knows what he's doing. But in this, they literally cannot decide if it's supposed to be a dark comedy or not, because there are really some scenes in this that are actually bothersome on paper. If this was done with real people or real actors, this would be on the level of August Underground. I wouldn't care about the acting. It would be immensely disturbing. I mean, there is assault, there is graphic. I won't get too in depth here, but you can get the idea. Assault with weapons like assault, just vivisection, everything like that, but it's with puppets. And the thing with the puppets as well is they're supposed to, in the film, In the film, in the film, the puppets are supposed to have almost human-like organs, but when they pull them out, they are literally jello in molds. So we're already throwing special effects out the window because they're terrible. Horrible special effects. Hate that. Everything surrounding them, it almost looks like the stuff surrounding them is like melted chewing gum or something. Very bad. Either that or it's edited explosion or blood effects afterwards. And if they had puppet voices, I could see this being funnier, but they have human voices, so like when a puppet is crying in pain, is it meant to upset you because it looks like August Underground, but it's just not. It's not funny or disturbing. It's just kind of weird and doesn't make sense. Um, there are a lot of puppet jokes in this, if you're into that, but all of them fall flat. Um, they're horrible. Everything in this, it's literally bothering me to even make this review. It tries really hard to be edgy. Um, that sort of ties back into it not deciding if it's a comedy or horror movie. It does try to be very hard to be edgy. Doesn't really even succeed at that. It just comes off as some like 12-year-old's Sesame Street fan fiction with horror movie elements. It's pretty bad. The mask of the killer is meant to look like Kermit, and he's a frog, and the woman later on gets a mask that looks like a pig, so it's Kermit and Miss Piggy. That's honestly the only. I can't even say I like that. It's not clever. It's silly. It's very basic. It's very, very just low bar. This movie is in. This movie is in my top 5 worst movies I have ever seen, and I implore you not to purchase this. Please. I don't encourage you to watch this. I will still drop a link in the description in case you want to check this out, but I hate this movie. Let's see here. Looking back at my notes, there was a scene where puppet children are murdered, and that was supposed to be really edgy and like the disturbing part of the movie, but that's when they switch, and there are Muppet voice-esque things that come out of the children, make it almost comical, but then the stuff that they're doing to them is very disturbing, so it once again contradicts each other. The film is also very slow-paced. If it is a comedy, it's a one-joke movie. That's what I'm getting at. The joke is it's puppets that are getting killed instead of people. You, I I really wanted to like this movie. I just really did not. Terrible. They try to do a twist ending at the end of this with the killer. You know what? I'm going to spoil it here because I don't. I have to say, the killer is half Muppet himself. And when he pulls off his mask, he has this bizarre, uncanny valley, Kermit-esque face that looks like half human, half that. And he mutilates his, let's see, how can I say this? Um, his pipe cleaner. He cuts off his pipe cleaner, and pretty bad. There's also a sex scene in this movie between the two killers, and it's really gross, and it goes on for like 6 minutes. The movie's like 50 minutes long. Um, so when your sex scene is that long and it's literally just, it's not meant to be comical or anything. It's meant to, I don't know why it's there, frankly. It's just really weird and gross, and I didn't like it. Some of the gore in this movie looks like it was made on Windows 95. The editing's there. The movie rambles. The movie's slow. The acting is bad. The music is bad. The special effects are bad. The concept is not funny. It's not a good horror movie. It's not a good comedy. It's just not a good movie. It's not entertaining. It's horrible. I would not recommend this movie, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to let Stinky give his opinions on this because he is a puppet, so maybe he found this scarier than I did.
No. The film was really dumb. Just like my voice. It wasn't scary. You can find stuff like this on, LiveLeak. Best felt
Is that like best gore? I thought that got taken down.
No, best felt is, yeah, it's very popular in the community of sick people like you, Herschel. You're a very sick man for watching this movie. Anyway, it was not funny. It was very mean spirited towards my kind. It felt very racist. And I hated it. I give it a 1 out of 5.
Um, I would agree with Stinky here. As a professional, I have to give this an objective rating, and hopefully, this is the worst film I ever cover on my channel. I would give this a 0, but I refuse to give a movie a 0 because we're going on a 1 to 5 scale. So, what do I give this? A 1 out of 5. I don't recommend this. I hope my review for the next film is more entertaining than this. This film, it really deserves to go in the trash bin. Not a fan of this at all. And I want to be positive on my channel. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't give another film by the director of this a go down the road. I want to, stay positive with that. Let's get rid of the puppet joke here. No one's watching this anyway, but I try to be positive, but I really did hate this movie so much. And please don't waste your time on this. This is not a fun film. There was no thought put into this. This is not entertaining. It's just very stupid. I give it a 1 out of 5. Come back later this week for a review of Red Crocodile. I did really enjoy that movie, so I'm looking forward to giving a more in-depth review of that. Hopefully I'm going to do something longer like this, but it's going to be more cohesive. This one was just so bad that my thoughts are everywhere. It's just bad. That's what it comes down to. This movie is bad. When you think of bad movies, when you think of bad horror movies, when you think of that bargain bin trash, this is one of those films. This is a movie I really wanted to like. I always want to like these. I don't get sent any of my movies by directors. I've only did that for my review of Psycho Ape yesterday, and I went on to buy the VHS DVD and a t-shirt of that film. I give objective ratings. If any director wants to send me their stuff, I will be happy to review it, but I will objectively rate it. So this is from my own personal collection. This was the first time watching it. I always want to like the movie. I wouldn't spend my money on it otherwise, and I really wish that I didn't. This is not worth your time. I will never watch this again. If anybody wants it, hit me up in the comments and I'll send it to you, and I will even pay shipping just to get out of my house, so let me know. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and join me later this week for a review of a much better movie, and hopefully a much better review. I hope you enjoyed the stinky bit there. I was trying to make something good of this, but yeah. Everybody, once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to keep the notifications on. And, keep looking out for that. There's going to be stuff revolving around my new film coming out. Hopefully going to have a trailer out for that in the next couple of weeks. I'm shooting for a June release date for that. Pretty excited as well. Also, I'm going to be revealing a new logo for my channel and Instagram this week. Check me out there as well at Shock and Schlock. Going to be doing some big stuff in the future. Hopefully this lighting, my area that I'm filming in, everything's going to be looking better. I'm going to have an actual more professional thing there. I've been working on thumbnails more as well, as you can probably tell if you have been watching these videos. So keep an eye out for improvements there. Hopefully we're going to do something a little bit funnier here. Maybe we'll do another sketch down the road. Talk about different stuff. Talk about some of my favorite movies. But anyway, I'm rambling again. So that's it for today, guys. I'm Herschel Gillis. Join me again later this week. Thanks.